Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your first 6 months of 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be located in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bulls sing. As we see what the tarot has to say. Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, 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 Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. One bonus card. Okay. Now, before we turn these over and see what they have to say, let's set up for the 6 months here that we have laid out. We're going to start with your chakra. Where is this? There we go. Your chakra energy. Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Spirit animal message. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Fantastic. And then your major arcana. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021. Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Excuse me. Angels and spirit guides. Excuse me. I do apologize. Okay. You just... All right. So we're starting here with January. We have dreams. We have the koala spirit. And we have judgment. February, Earth Mother. The vulture spirit. And the moon, which represents Pisces energy. That's a time frame February 19th to March 20th. And then we have the heart chakra. So we have the third eye chakra. I think I read the bottom instead of saying the chakra. The third eye chakra, the earth star chakra, the heart chakra. There we go. The beaver spirit. And here we have justice. Now justice is a time frame, is a Libra time frame, September 23rd to October 22nd. This is, of course, for the month of March. We have creativity, which is the Sacral Chakra. The hummingbird spirit. And we have the Hierophant. Now, this is a Taurus time frame. This is April right here. This is a time frame of April 20th to May 20th. May. We have clarity. Once again, the third eye chakra coming in. We have the deer spirit. And we have the magician. Then for June, we have the solar plexus chakra. We have the dog spirit. And we have the star card. Now that represents Aquarius energy, a time frame January 20th to February 18th. All right, so the left-hand side here, this is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, ooh, goodness, is the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We just straighten this up just a bit for you guys so that there isn't a glare. Okay. All right, that looks better. Fantastic. So we're starting off with the High Priestess, which I adore, especially for you, Scorpio. Then we have the Seven of Wands, the Devil, the Two of Swords, the World, the Lovers, the Ace of Wands. Now the Lovers represents a, excuse me, Gemini energy, May 21st to June 20th. The Devil represents a Capricorn energy. This is a time frame of December 22nd to January 19th. And then we end the heart line with the Three of Wands. The public arena, we have the Nine of Wands, the King of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and your bonus card, the Six of Swords. Awesome. So you have a lot of gifts coming forward. There's a sense of, baggage kind of holding things back, making you doubt the way that you can move forward and making you doubt where it is exactly that you want to be. Or it can be that you had envisioned things going one way and they're kind of going a different way, but it's not a different way in a bad way. It's kind of like, oh, I didn't see this as an option, or, oh, I didn't think this could move forward this way, or I could move forward this way. So as you're kind of like stepping out of where you thought you would be to where you truly are now, there is a power, there is a beauty, there is a brilliance to you that really starts to shine. And there is a focusing on the internal self, and also Spirit is saying the eternal self, the self that never ends, the part of you that is purely spirit. And so that's very powerful during this time. You're moving in a profound direction, but it's just like, it's unexpected. Okay, so let's start off by talking about the 6 months right here before we go into the overview of what the tarot has to say. Not the overview, but yeah, what the tarot has to say for the 6 months. So we're starting off here in January with dreams with the third eye chakra. The koala spirit, it says spirit has a plan, and it has judgment right here, which is the stepping out of your comfort zone, moving forward in passion, in power of purpose, and arising to a height you didn't think you could, or you didn't think could be yours. And so here with your dreams, you're going to find that in January, you're going to have rather profound and rather prophetic dreams. There is going to be a sense here. Now there can be a sense of true dreaming. It's kind of like, yeah, what you dream kind of comes to life in a multitude of different ways. You can dream rather symbolically, there we go, symbolically, and it starts to come forward. You can dream like you have a question, and then you have kind of a lucid dream, and then you find the answers. As you are dreaming, you wake up with a deeper knowing than you went to sleep with. So that's really cool, the way that your subconscious and your conscious mind talk, but it's also the way your angels talk to you during this time. The third eye is opening. Things become more clear. Things become more complete than you had thought they would be. And there's an empowerment here that's really quite beautiful. And so as this moves you forward, it moves you to the koala spirit. And it says spirit has a plan. Spirit has a plan, and Spirit definitely has a plan for you. And you're starting to see bits and pieces of it. You're starting to see it more openly, more honestly than you had before. And as Spirit has a plan, you are looking at yourself rising out of hardships, out of pains, out of disappointments. It doesn't mean that life becomes automatically easier, but it means that your spirit is transforming. Because in the Rider-Waite Smith deck, this is an angel blowing his trumpet, raising the people from their coffins, and everybody's empowered because there's like a rapture, right? There's this resurrection of self. And here, this is Anubis, the god of the dead in Egyptian mythology, in the ancient Egyptian religion. And you have the heart being weighed against the feather. And this is for eternal life. And so when you passed on in the ancient Egypt world, it was thought that your heart was weighed against a feather. And if your heart was lighter than a feather, you entered into heaven, or you entered into the other world, right? So here, that's what's happening. You are seeing yourself enter into a new way of being, a new empowerment, a new sense of soul, of purpose, of self, of feeling more settled within your skin. Okay, because you are following your heart, because your heart and your mind are coming together, because there is a truth that you are embracing about you. Now, this leads you to February, where you are really connecting with the Earth Mother. You're connecting with the Earth Soul Spirit, which is located 6 inches below your feet. You then have the Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. There is nothing that is wasted. And the moon shows us our shadowed self, shows us our fears, our doubts, the apprehensions that we have had, and it is showing us that fear is a part of life, but fear doesn't get to control our lives. And there's something here where with Mother Earth and with the Earth Star chakra, you are finding yourself more grounded in the beauty of this world, but also in the seasons, the emotions, the change, the power, the purpose, the understanding of this world. There's something where you're finding yourself to be more grounded, more stabilized, more rooted within yourself. And you're also embracing the Earth Mother Spirit. Now, when we think of Mother Earth, we think of this kind, benevolent, being that nurtures us all. But remember, as much as the earth shelters us and, our food grows from it and everything like that, and we walk upon it, the earth also has hurricanes and tornadoes and, and blizzards and all these storms that test us, that frighten us, that are greater than us. So when we're embracing the Earth Mother Spirit or Mother Earth, when we are embracing Mother Earth, we're also embracing the tremendous power, the untapped power, or the power within us that we can be astoundingly afraid of. So that is going to be something that's very important to realize, especially in February, as you're embracing this truth. There is real power there. And then we move to the Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. We tend to think, oh, well, that was a waste of time, or oh, that's a waste of space, or something like that. Nothing is wasted. Everything has its purpose, its lesson, and nothing that we have been through as individuals is wasted. So here, for you, Scorpio, you're seeing the power of every single thing that you have been through. And it really does. I love how the vulture is looking at Anubis, and that's very symbolic, but it's also, kind of looking at the koala spirit, and spirit has a plan. Nothing is wasted. Everything has been getting you to this point, and it brings you to the moon. It brings you to facing your fears. It brings you to facing the doubts and the apprehensions, the questions, and you're going to see that you're seeing the shadows now, not as the holder of monsters. You're seeing the shadows as a soothing power of the light. And I think that's a very odd way for spirit to say it, but it's kind of like you're taking the light and you're giving it a depth that at first you won't be able to fully understand. Because if you have pure darkness, right, you can't see a shadow at all. You can't see anything. If you have pure light, you can't see anything. So here, it's seeing how they play off each other. They're seeing how the daytime mind and the nighttime mind come together. You're seeing how your fears and your desires come together. And you're really finding yourself shedding a cloak that made things seem so much more impossible than they actually are. And now we move to March. We have the heart chakra, love. We have the beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation, justice, discernment. So in March, you're really calling upon your heart. What do you love? What do you want? Where do you need to be? What is it that you desire? What is it that you long for? Where does your heart lie? And so that's going to be a very powerful truth for you. What do I love? What do I want? And as you look at your heart, this isn't saying what other people love about you or what other people want from you. This is saying, what do I, as a Scorpio, what do I love? And how is that moving me forward? And this brings you then to the beaver spirit, laying a solid foundation of love, of emotional truth, of power, of understanding, of grace, of self. And then it leads you to justice. Now, justice isn't just, white page, black print, the letter of the law type of thing. This is being discerning with the energy that you let around you. This is being discerning about what you decide to see as your personal truth. This is being just and powerful and purposeful to yourself. And that helps you lay the solid foundation, but also listen to your heart. Because some things that are completely just for one person may very well not be just for you. And that is okay. We are all different. We all have to sit there and say, what formulates, what moves forward my life, myself. And then this brings us to April, where we have the Sacral Chakra, creativity. We have the hummingbird spirit, be here now, be in the present. And then we have the Hierophant. And this is embracing your talents, your beauty, your truth, your power. So the Sacral Chakra, this is where a lot of negative energy is held from this life and from past lives. So when we are embracing the Sacral Chakra and we're letting the creativity flow through, we're releasing a lot of the negativity that kept us from letting this creative side show, or the part of us that took the trauma from our DNA line, the part of us that took the trauma from our past life self and said, okay, I'm still carrying it forward. I still have to fix it. Now, is there an essence of you seeing way beyond the veil and you moving forward in a much greater, deeper truth than you had realized? Absolutely. This creativity comes, right? But there is also a release that comes. And for this creative energy to be able to flow through you, in April, you have to release the burdens that aren't helping. And I know that sounds rather like duh, but here's the thing. There's going to be a sense that you put more and more upon your shoulders because you think, okay, the more I carry, the more I'll be able to do. Or, yeah, it's something to that effect. Or like, yeah. Or other people aren't doing it right. It's kind of like, oh, I'll just do it myself type of thing. This is saying you've weighed yourself down too much. And this is what Spirit is saying. You've weighed yourself down too much. Let the creative energy flow. Let other people learn their lessons, guide guided by their truth, because the hummingbird spirit is saying, be here now, be in the present, not in the past, not in the future. Okay, we tend to live in either one. We have the past and we think, oh, okay, if I live in the past, it'll help me learn, move forward, see things more clearly, more openly, more honestly. And then we have the idea, if I live in the future, I have to plan for the future, because if I don't plan for the future, I'm a fool and everything can fall apart, and things fell apart before, but now I'm going to have such a good plan, nothing bad could ever happen. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but it doesn't work that way. So being here now is a hummingbird spirit saying to embrace this creative energy, to use its sweetness, its power, its glory, its brilliance. Be here now and let the power of your now shine through. Because during this time, during April, you have to be true to you. If you are not true to you, you see that you lose something really quite extraordinary. The Hierophant is the Pope in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, right? That is the image upon the card. And the Hierophant and the Pope, back in medieval times, they could tell kings and queens and emperors and empresses what to do. So here, it is having that power and saying, I'm utilizing this for me. I have to be true to me. It's going to be so important, Scorpio. So important. And then it moves you to May. And May brings forward clarity. Okay? The third eye chakra opens even more. Clarity comes in. You have the deer spirit, bring a gentle touch. And then you have the magician, because you are calling forward power that at times you will not even understand the scope and the depth of it. So clarity comes in. Clarity comes in. This is seeing things more clearly. This is having a bit of, it's daydreams, but it's kind of like having visions. It's like, oh, I see that. Oh, that's going to be what happens. And then it happens. You're going to be maybe a little freaked out, but it's going to be kind of cool. So here, there is this clarity that comes in. There is this insight. There is this understanding. It's like, oh, I see it. And you do see it. You see something astoundingly powerful in May that comes forward. This clarity that comes in. The third eye opens more than you're usually used to. And then it brings you to the deer spirit. Bring a gentle touch. Don't come at things kind of like a bull in a china shop or a bat out of hell. It's like, bring a gentle touch. Come at things calmly, softly, gently, purely, purposefully, and move forward in that gentleness, in that beauty. Because as the clarity comes, you want to walk lightly. And then you are embracing the God's head within. You are embracing the majesty, the brilliance, the power, the abundance within, with the magician. As above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. As you see it, so it will be. And there's magic here. And the magic, for me, is not conjuring magic, though if that's what you're into, then yes, it most definitely is. But for me, it is the God's head that lives within each and every one of us. It is the fact that Brahma said in Hinduism, I hide the God's head within man, because that is the one place he will not look for it. It's like, prove him wrong. Look within. Now, a lot of times, we don't like to look within. And that's what April is preparing you for, to be here now. Because if you're in the present, you have a tendency to look within. Okay? You have a tendency to look at what you have right now instead of what you once had, or what you will have, or what you hope to have. And so here is being here now. And as you embrace this, you call upon the power of your mind, the power of your intentions, the power of your soul, the power of what you desire. And there's something greater that is coming forward. And it brings you then, it brings you to a connection with all four of the elements. It brings you to a coming together with spirit. But be very, very mindful of your mind, of your thoughts, because they have greater power to them than you realize. It then brings you to June. And June has inner strength, okay, with the solar plexus chakra. Then we have the dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. And then you have Aquarius energy. You're pouring the waters into the sea, onto the land. And it is moving you forward with the star of Venus crowning you, with the star of love being an absolute guiding light to you. So inner strength, you're breaking out of your shell, Scorpio. This is a time where you're finding you're overcoming quite a lot. And actually, during this whole time, you've been overcoming quite a lot that has held you back in the past, that has made you doubt yourself, that has made you fear or question. And this is then the inner strength that moves you forward. This is that breaking out of the shell. This is that seeing that beautiful light. This is knowing a greater truth. And this is like, this is what I desire. And I was frozen before. And you will find that a part of you really does sit there and go, you're right, I was frozen before. I couldn't move. It felt like even if I knew that this was the best thing for me, I couldn't make that decision. I couldn't break through the ice, the fear, the doubt, the frozen of the emotions, of the heart, of the water that flows within me. And then the dog spirit says, be loyal to what you love. Be loyal to you. If you don't love you, who the heck will? Be loyal to what you love. Build off of that love. And that we see with the heart chakra, with love in March. Build off of that love and be just and discerning to you, because you've had a resurrection of self, okay? You've broken the box, right? You've followed the messages within your dreams. You're grounding yourself. You're facing fears. You're seeing that it has not all been for nothing. And then you are more discerning. Then you are more powerful than you realize. And now you follow what you love. Be loyal to what you love. Be loyal to who you love. Be loyal to loving you. If you are loyal to the love that you have for you, not in that selfish, egotistical, I'm the best person in the whole entire world kind of way, but in that sense of, I am a treasured gift. I hold the body, my body holds the gift and the power of my soul. And I will treasure that and move forward with that knowledge every single moment of every single day. That's transcendent. And then it brings you to the star. It brings you to a place where you see your light and you are guided by your light. This is the highest form of man's perfection. This is the highest form of what you desire. This isn't the, oh, I wish that I get a new car, a new watch, a new this, a new that. No, this is taking the burdens that make the heart feel heavy and make life feel overwhelming. And divinity is saying, I see you and I see this. And what you want to ease the load is coming. Be prepared. This is also pouring out those healing waters. This is saying, the one thing here is like, this is not being a judge at all. This is sitting here and embracing the beauty, the depth, the complexity, and the intricacy of your life and moving forward with that knowledge. Now you are crowned here with the High Priestess, with your inner self. I mean, that's a powerful, powerful crown. You see things more openly, more truly. You're seeing behind the veil. And this is why the resurrection and the moon, okay, the shadows, are so important when it comes to the justice that comes, when it comes to the discernment of self. Because what comes into play is the fact that you see behind the veil of what people expect. You see deeper than what everybody else is just doing the surface value. And this is usually you, Scorpio, to be honest. This is a place where if you don't feel quite comfortable, you feel astoundingly drawn to it. And so you look at things more deeply, more openly, more honestly for yourself. You're asking deeper questions. You're seeing behind people's masks. You're calling them out on their bull. And it could be that you're just doing it in your head, which I kind of recommend. And it can also be that you do it out loud. It's like, no, if you're not going to fight for you, I'm not going to fight for you. If you're not going to help this, then why the heck am I wasting my time? And people might sit there and say, ooh, why are you being vicious? You're not. You're being honest. And it's not that mean, cruel honesty. It's just sitting there and saying, I'm not wasting my time. I need to move forward. There is something greater that I am called for and called to. And that's exactly true during this time. There is something greater that is calling you forward, that is moving you forward. And it brings you then to the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is like, as you see things more openly and more clearly, you have to be very mindful, because what happens is you're going to try and fight every fight. You're going to try and stand up and say, I know my truth, I know where I stand, I know what I stand for, and I'm not being bullied around by anybody else. And that's awesome. That's a fantastic place to be. But that's also exhausting if you don't let some things go. If you don't look at some people and say, you're a fool. You will always be a fool. You are just a fool. And I'm not letting you impact me. I'm moving forward in the truth that is me. And so as you embrace this, you're going to find that you stand true for yourself. And you also don't fight every fight, but you stand up for the things that are truly important. As my great grandma would say, don't step on every crack, you'll never get to the other side. So it's knowing what to let go and what to hold on to. And it's knowing what's truly important. And this brings you then to the devil. Because as you're seeing things more openly and more honestly, as you are embracing this power of self, and I do apologize if you can hear my dogs, this leads you to a looking at what chains you, what has held you back, what has made you feel like you can't. Okay, what has made you feel like you have to move in this direction and not that direction? What has made you doubt yourself? What has made you, question everything that is true about you? And instead of like question everything, like the Buddha says, question everything, even me. This is, I question everything because I don't have the faith in myself to move forward. And divinity is saying no. Divinity is saying it is time to look at the chains that bind, the chains that keep you small, that keep your wings pinned. And it's time to release. And it's time to embrace a greater truth, a greater passion, and a greater beauty than you had realized. This can even sit there, you can even be sitting there. And this makes you look at what the world says, oh, this is normal. This is what you're supposed to be. This is good. And you're like, why? That's not me. I can't do that anymore. And so you start to take a different path, a road less traveled, one might say. And you start to find, you start to find your truth. You start to find your power. You start to find your brilliance. And you're like, oh, that's it, isn't it? That's where I need to be. And it's freeing yourself from addictions. Now, this could be drugs, alcohol, food, sex, gambling, things like that. Or this can be the addiction of doubting yourself, of thinking yourself less than everybody else, of always putting your needs last, of procrastination, of, swallowing your words. They can be things that you think, oh, well, it's really little. It's not that big a deal. I always get things done. But do you run yourself into exhaustion trying to keep up? Because your body is just saying, stop for a moment. Stop and listen to you. Because the Two of Swords is coming. And the Two of Swords is the fact that you always thought there were two paths. And you could go left and you could go right, and you're not really keen on either one of them. But you start to see a path opening. That means more to you. And then as you start to see that one path, it's like, oh, well, why not? And then you start to see a different path opening and a different path opening. And you're like, oh, that's it. That's where I want to be. That's how I want to move forward. That's what I desire. That's what I need. You have the repeat of the number 2 here. This is very much a creative time for you personally. Okay, during these 6 months, there's a whole bunch of creative energy. We see it kind of reaching a crescendo in April, where it has this beautiful sense of freeing, of not being held back, of oh, I'm just excited. It's just so exciting right there. I'm at a loss for words. It's like Spirit is showing, it's just more and more, and it's like, it's so exciting. So you have that energy coming forward. You also have this sense of a duality of spirit being embraced, a fact of embracing the shadow self and the self that is brought to the light, the self that we sit there and say, oh, okay, this is acceptable, this is lovely, and you are empowered by it. Now, your heart is crowned by the world. You are going to find that doors that were once barred to you start to open. You are going to find that you didn't realize that you barred them yourself. And you might sit there and say, oh, Dayton, that's ridiculous. Why would I ever say that I couldn't? Because somebody once told you when you were hurt, when you were vulnerable, when you were small, okay, that you couldn't. That you couldn't. And you're realizing now that it was a lie. That it was a mean, manipulative, last tactic to always let them be with you, spitefully, vindictively, and cruelly. It's kind of like when you're with somebody, right? And you just adore them, and you think they're awesome, and they're just your everything for a time. But then they turn around and walk out. And instead of walking out and saying, it's just not working, I'm sorry, and leaving and being cruel like that, they turn it around and they tell you it's all your fault. You just weren't enough. It's like, excuse you? And you're finding yourself looking at things here and saying, excuse you, like to the memory of people speaking negativity over you. It's like, who gave you the right? This could be from parents, grandparents, teachers, lovers, friends, family members, where you sit there and you're like, who gave you the right? And that blows the door open. Your heart is like you are taking back the love. You are taking back the passion. You are taking back the beauty. It doesn't mean that you are falling in love, though you can very well be during this time. But it does mean that you are falling back in love with you, with your life, with your beauty, with the way that you want to move forward, with what you desire. And there's power in that. There's brilliance in that. The world opens, love answers. Love walks through that door. There's a duality of mind. Nothing during these 6 months is going to be just one way. There's going to be a complexity, there's going to be a depth, there's going to be a brilliance. You have two gifts coming, and if you break through past addictions, if you break through doubts and fears and negativity, you will see yourself taking these gifts, okay? But they are permeating every single step forward. It's very likely that you take the gift of the Ace of Wands, because you have the King of Wands right here. But the Ace of Swords, that one is going to be more, it's going to be more up to you. It doesn't mean that you don't take it at all. It means that it's not quite as assured. Now, the Ace of Wands comes in. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of passion, of power, of creativity, of, decisiveness, of understanding. And you're like, oh my goodness, this is the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. This is your passion. This is your brilliance. This is what you desire. And as it comes, it opens up the horizon for you because your heart is opened to a new world. Okay? You are opened to a new way forward, to a new brilliance. And the horizon opens up. And it's like, oh, that's it. Oh, that's what that meant. Oh, the pathways aren't set in stone. They're not black or white, white page, black print. You can either go one or two ways. There's a myriad and a multitude shades of gray that sing to you so much more. And it brings you then to the Nine of Wands. It brings you in the public arena. You are looking at the hardships, the pains, the disappointments, the angers, the upsets, and you are seeing that you still stand. And you are building a wall between yourself and what you desire and standing tall in you and everybody else's opinion, everybody else's anger, everybody else's shouts. And you're done. You're done. You are a bit tired when it comes to the public arena, okay? A bit kind of like been there, seen, been there, done that. There is this sense like you see things more deeply. And that has, the world open. And there's grace, and there's elegance, and there's eloquence. But there is still a sense that as you see things more deeply, you stand your ground, okay? You know your passion, you know your truth. You will not back down, all right? But you cannot engage in endless battles. You just can't. It'll just drain you. I mean, some people would be fine with it, Scorpio. They'll be like, okay, let's go. I can handle this. But no, you will find that you need to stay true to you. And this is a very introverted, very, very personal awakening that you're going through. Other people will have their ideas, their ideals, everything like that. But you need to stand in your truth. And it brings you to the King of Wands. It brings you to your passion. It brings you to your creativity. It brings you to your power, moving you forward. And as this guides you, you're like, this is what I stand for. This is you in the business world. This is you with the passion that gets you out of bed in the morning. And you are taking this gift and it's opening up new roads. You are seeing yourself in a new way, in a more powerful, purposeful, dynamic way. And you will not be held back, and you will not be denied, and you will not swallow your words, and you are determined, and people take note of you. There's a new passion to you that people are definitely seeing, and it moves you to the Ace of Swords. God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands you a gift of knowledge, hands you a gift of deeper understanding, hands you a gift, and you sit there, and you're like, oh, is that the truth I was looking for? Oh, is that the reasoning that I needed? Oh, is that what that meant? And it's like, yes, it is. And it changes the game. You are entering into a new season. You are entering into new power, new understanding, new blessings. And you're like, oh. And what's really cool here is that you see things more deeply. You start off with the veil being lifted. You end with the Wheel of Fortune, with the fortune being changed. Because you see things so much more clearly, so much more powerfully. And this is also saying, now this is something that we can find very overwhelming because we are taught to honor youth above kind of everything else. Youth and beauty is irreplaceable. But with the Wheel of Fortune, you have the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And those are going to be the cycles of life that really have to be embraced. The fact that we cannot, and sometimes never are, supermodel pretty and just absolutely ride that wave of kind of being Aphrodite blessed, like some people do. And sometimes that's not the path that we are to walk. And it's coming to terms with the new season or the new way of being or, this power that is us, but isn't what the media says, oh, that's what's powerful. So you're finding a path that is more right for you than you ever would have realized, Scorpio. And as you do so, you're taking your knowledge, you're taking your understanding, and you are moving forward. Is it sad? Yes, sometimes it is. Is it absolutely worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. And here, with the Wheel of Fortune, you're going to feel at times like you are on a roller coaster ride. But the roller coaster ride has an end, and it brings you to a place you absolutely want to be. So let's go deeper. Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. The first 6 months of 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Awesome. So we have here the Five of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Chariot. Then we have the Nine of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the Sun, the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Wands. Oh, I love this. Okay. So the inner self, you can be astoundingly hard. And we saw this up during the 6-month progression. You can be astoundingly hard on yourself here, Scorpio. And as we start off, we have the High Priestess coming in. We have the Seven of Wands. And this is saying, change your mind, change your life. Change what you are focusing on. Focus on the love. Focus on the beauty. Focus on the power that is you. And you will see yourself move forward in ways that you hadn't expected. But if you focus on the hurts, the betrayals, the upsets, the angers, that is what you will get. That is what you will get. And it's very much the magician energy coming in, saying what you focus on, you will get. See the power within you. Be discerning. All right? Don't feel bad of saying, you know what, that's not the right energy for me. That's not how I want to be moving forward. There's a facing of fears, but there's an understanding of the beauty of secrets, is what Spirit is saying, the beauty of the shadows. And this empowers you. It raises you to new heights, and it takes you out of the box. It's out of a conformity that you didn't want and into a power that you might have thought impossible. And you are racing forward. You're going after your passion, your desire, what you want, what you need, what is important to you with the Knight of Wands. And it's moving you away from addictions. But this can also be being a bit rash, a bit hot-headed. So you can be tripped up by addictions, by the things within our personality that isn't always the best, doesn't always lead us forward the best way. And so then we have the Chariot. And the Chariot here is the taking what you love, the taking what is the most important thing for you, being crowned by the stars in the sky, okay, by the highest form of your perfection and what you desire, of seeing the riddles of the world, but moving forward in love and in truth and forging new roads for you. It then brings you to love coming in. It brings you to sitting back and saying, I've earned this. I have this. As the world opens, as your heart is embraced, and as you have that energy coming in of, job well done, me, it moves you to the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is not letting other people take credit for the work that you have done. And it is also knowing that you have created something awesome. And that is as the gift of passion comes forward. That is as your passion, your creativity ignites and develops with you. And then it brings you to the Ten of Swords. This is an end of a cycle when it comes to the mind. Okay, this is every year for a decade, another sword being stabbed into your back. Doubts, fears, anger, upset, upheaval. And as you move forward, you find new roads, you find new options coming your way. This is passion and creation. This is the hurts and the pains and the disappointments that are part of life, but teach us such invaluable lessons as to change our existence. And then it leads you to the sun. It leads you to a new dawn, a new day, a new brilliance coming in. As you tell the world to hush, as you follow your truth, as you embrace your brilliance, others will be jealous of you, especially in the public arena. To have this shine so bright, to have this be such profound and beautiful truth, let it shine. Do not lessen your sun because other people are jealous. And do not let them make you feel bad for having such a radiant truth to you, such a radiant being. It leads you to the Seven of Pentacles. As you have the Ace of Swords coming in, okay, as you cut through doubts and fears and know your mind, okay, and know what you want. The Seven of Pentacles is being patient because the harvest comes. Being patient and letting fruit ripen on its own. This is trusting in divine timing because it will be all the sweeter because of it, because of your faith. And then it brings you to the Six of Wands, to a celebration as you move forward to a new cycle, to a new way of being. This is saying celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Learn how to celebrate yourself. Instead of saying, well, you should have done that. Well, look at what you didn't do. Look at what you did do. Celebrate you and live in that glory. Live in that brilliance. Live in that beauty of celebration and of self, of joy. That is going to be so important because you start with only seeing the negative and you end with rejoicing in the positive. Rejoicing in the glories and the job well done. Because the Six of Wands, how Spirit always shows me it, it's the boss that always put you down, that always made you feel like garbage, right? It could be ruling your life like that, or it's the boss that raised you up, that made you feel spectacular about yourself, that showed you that you were amazing. And it's being that boss for yourself. And that is so important. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the squirrel spirit. Believe in yourself. Exactly what the Six of Wands says. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in the seeds that you are planting. Believe in the bounty that is a part of you. It leads you to your subconscious chakra message, which is truth. You have a great desire, Scorpio, for truth. Okay, you have it with the discernment of self, but you also have it just simply as who you are. You would rather somebody told you a truth that you didn't like than lie to your face. Live in your truth. Embrace your throat chakra. Speak your truth, not in a hurtful, harmful way, but in a confident, assured, this is my life way. It then brings you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the moon. It's facing fears. It's seeing the fears that we have and saying, you do not get to rule me. I know that fear is a part of my being because it helped my ancestors survive and it helps me survive today. But I do not get to be ruled by it. I see the shadows for what they are. I see the monsters for what they are. Terrifying? Yes. Undefinable at times? Most definitely. But they are also here to move me forward in a way that is beyond the realms of magnificent. If I can face the fears that live within me and conquer them, when they dwell within my own soul, then I can face almost anything and come out stronger because of it. Your subconscious. Then we go deeper into your subconscious tarot. And it is again the moon. That's astounding. In every single deck, you have gotten the moon. So I feel like it should be reiterated again that this is Pisces energy. This could be very important for some of you watching. But this is a facing of fears. This is a breaking of the mold. You see here the dog and the wolf, okay? This is the tamed and the wild. The part of ourselves, the part that we let in the light of the day, and the shadow itself, the part that we say, oh no, that's not right. The thing with monsters, the thing with the moon, is as we face monsters, we need to understand that there is a monster within each and every one of ourselves. And as we understand that there's a monster within us, and it's not saying, oh, I could never think of doing something so wrong. That's absolutely not me. Saying, oh yeah, I could see that, but I choose not to, because that's taking the power back. That's taking the power and it's running with it. Because the lobster here, when a lobster has large pincers and is long and, I was going to say tall, but they're not tall, right? But is big. That is a sign that their serotonin levels is high, if it happens naturally, of course. Their serotonin levels is high, they're more confident, they're more assured. This is what you're embracing. Your spirit is saying, when you face your fears, be confident, and they will not destroy you. I am always with you as you walk through the archway, okay? As you walk through, well, it's not archway, but this gateway to a new truth, a new being, a new way of seeing things, where the fear does not hold you back anymore, and you have conquered what once seemed like you could never conquer it. Unconquerable. And then it leads you to your subconscious major arcana message, which is the devil, which is you. You are embracing. I'm sorry, is this the devil? Yeah, you're not the devil, you're the death card. But you're embracing the devil. And you are embracing the doubts, the fears. And you're seeing yourself rise. You're seeing yourself rise to new truths, to new understandings, to a new place within this world. And you will not be held back by the trickery of others. You see their shadowed games. You do. And this is why Spirit showed you as this card for just a moment. And it's like you have a one up on them. And you don't even know it. Embrace this. Because you are more powerful than you've ever imagined. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as you move forward in new strength, in new glory, in new brilliance, as you are more patient, but also more proud of yourself than you give yourself credit for or than you could possibly imagine. You are moving forward in a way that shocks and awes, and you are emboldened by that energy and by that purpose. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio.